Hello and welcome back to Katawa Shoujo. Last time we really got in deep with those bittersweet, melancholic feelings. Might have just been me, but it's still true. But in a more concrete, non-biased summary, or maybe not non-biased. Well, yes, non-biased. We went to Rin. She said she wanted to self-destruct herself because she doesn't think that her current her is capable of the changes that she needs to make in order to get this exhibition going. So she gets some cigarettes from Sai, and we smoked, and then we just had a night on the town. And then she told us not to see her for a while. But not forever, just for a while she figured out how to self-destruct. Although I think that her telling us to leave her alone was her form of self-destructing. Maybe. That might be a little too optimistic on my part. But that's what I think. I hold true to my promise of honoring Rin's request, even if it's against my own will. I try to redirect my focus into my studies, but end up zoning out during classes and doing only the minimal amount of work required. Still, I start looking into my post-high school options a bit more seriously. I pore over university brochures and various career paths. I'm good at studying, so I want to go to a university. I'm pretty sure I could get into a pretty decent one too. The only problem is deciding which subject would be best. Kenji ridicules me about subjecting myself to the control of feminist teachers when I tell him about trying to get into a university. I don't ask him about what he wants to do in the future. I wonder what Rin thinks of her own future. I bet she's as lost as I am, and if she is, it's probably in some completely different way. I feel somewhat disappointed in finding out that I can't stop thinking about her. Her request makes me worry about her and think about her more than I did when I could go and see her when I wanted. It bothers me that I can't. Oh, that old chestnut. As I expected, I eventually crack. Late one afternoon, I get on the bus heading downtown. I try to avoid explaining to myself exactly why I'm doing this and keep thinking about other things for the entire duration of the trip. After a 5-minute walk, I'm standing in front of the gallery. I walk past it to the door of the atelier, but at the last moment, I lose my courage and continue on all the way to the next corner, at which point I turn back. Will Rin hate me if I go and see her? I wonder what she's like when she's angry. I've never seen her angry. The worst thing would be if I actually ruined something by going to see her, like she seemed to imply would happen. But there's no way that can be true, can there? It's just one of her quirks. I walk back down the street and end up passing the atelier door for the second time. Only this time, as I continue all the way to the gallery, its owner is standing just outside the door watching me. I thought that was you. What are you doing? I really don't want to explain the circumstances between Rin and me, so I get flustered and end up mumbling something unclear. She takes stock of me and then sighs deeply, looking wryly amused somehow. I hope she didn't misunderstand. Would you like to come in? Your teacher's visiting. We were discussing Ren's exhibition. Thanks for the invitation, but I really should. Don't be shy now, come on in. I follow Sai inside, finding that our art teacher indeed is there. Nomiya is standing at the big desk, contemplating what looks like an invitation card. Look what the cat dragged in. Nook, hi! Hello there, my boy! She doesn't seem to be at all fazed by my appearance. He doesn't seem to be at all fazed by my appearance. How do you like the invitations? There they are. I glance at them quickly. They're kind of fancy, with one of Ren's paintings printed on the front cover in shiny gold writing. They look fine to me. They're magnificent. I absolutely love the design and the embossed gold lettering. Fabulous! Good print work, too. You have to tell me where you get these done. What does Rin think? I haven't asked. She said she'd be fine with my decision anyway. Nomiya laughs boisterously, still turning the gold lettering card in his hands. That's my girl. She wants to focus on the essentials only. Good for her. Her work is progressing well, too. It seems she's found new inspiration. I think she's been sort of weird lately. It's like she's wrestling with something with herself, probably. It makes her confused. She said she had a hard time painting the last time I saw her. It seems to be resolved now, however. You know, she practically lives up there now, right? Sai makes a simple gesture with her hand as if sweeping my question aside. Sure. Don't you think that's weird? Maybe it is, still. I think she understands how big an opportunity this is and is going for it full throttle. Is it really that big? Nomiya sets the card down and brushes some imaginary dust off his jacket. Well, how should I put it? There are times in everyone's lives where something really big washes over you and changes you forever. This could just be that moment for Tezuka. I see. Yeah, I think I've had something like that happen to me. I'm referring to the incident that brought me to Yamaku. Neither of the two adults comments on that, however. It might well be that everyone has, or will, at any rate. Surrendering oneself to art is a big decision, and a thorny path, too. Quite thorny indeed. Tezuka has almost everything one needs, but whether she has the will to pull through, that's a different question. I should know that best. I tried going down this path too, but turned away in the end. I don't understand what he's trying to say. Why did you turn away from being an artist? Is that why you're being so supportive of Ren? Should I kind of want to know why he turned away. But I'm afraid if I don't relate it to Rin, then the game is going to be mad at me. Maybe I should ask why he turned away from being an artist? Is that invasive? Why did you turn away? Why did you stop exactly? You've mentioned that before. Oh, that's a long story. Nomiya throws a sideways glance at the gallery owner who has drawn her mouth into a thin straight line. I've had a life-changing experience like that, even though I didn't realize it until later. Did I tell you that Sai and I have known each other for a long time? We studied at the same school. It's been... Goodness, how long has it been, really? Please don't count the years, Shinichi. Haha, maybe you're right. At any rate, when we were in school, we had this, friend, I should say. We were in the same program, and I think he met Sai at some party. I got to know Sai through him, in fact. He was a spectacular artist, much like Tezuka. Great talent, despite the young age. He easily left the rest of us in the dust. We were good friends, he and I, but there were things that created friction in the friendship. It felt like I was watching him from afar. You weren't the only one. Nomiya coughs, looking embarrassed. At any rate, he, ended up taking his own life. Such a tragedy. In retrospect, that was what made me choose a career as a teacher in the end. I never was that brilliant, nor that passionate. I desperately wanted to be a career artist, but I wasn't suited for that. You were good enough. Haha, perhaps I would have been, but this is what I ended up with. I just didn't have that drive after he was gone. I'm fond of kids and enjoy all forms of art, so it felt rather natural to take this path in life. But I think all that history with that friend of ours was the key thing, as sad as it was. A turning point, as they say. Sai stands up and digs in the pocket of her jacket for a cigarette and a lighter. Her hands are shaking. I'm going out for a smoke. Wordlessly, Nomiya and I both decide to follow her after a moment. It's already dark outside. Sai is standing with her back to us, taking sharp occasional drags of her cigarette. Its weak amber glow illuminates her face, framing her sharp jawline. Maybe it's best to call it a night. I can give you a lift back to school if you want, Nakai. You're not going anywhere, Shinichi. I need a drink. We're going to that place at the corner. The teacher looks at the old lady and then shrugs at me apologetically. It's no problem, I'll just catch the bus back. I'm headed upstairs to see if Ren will come back to school with me anyway. I think she's been staying overnight here too often lately. Sai locks the front door of the gallery and links arms with the old art teacher. I feel strange looking at them. They're having a night on the town. I wonder what it feels like to have friends who've been with you for decades, for most of your life. I can't imagine it. The two of them start making their way down the street towards the bar on the corner, so I quickly head upstairs to the atelier door, ready to get to what I originally came here for. I climb upstairs and enter carefully. The room is dark because of the quickly falling night, but I can see Rin, or rather her silhouette, sitting on the floor. So she's got her inspiration back, like Sai said, and I moved from easel to painting on the floor. Before I managed 5 steps, I stopped, frozen in my tracks. The ironic realization that human cognitive ability is commendable echoes through my mind. From a mere moment of her shadow, it took me a fraction of a second to realize something is awry, process what I'm seeing, formulate the answer, and blush all the way up to the tips of my ears. Rin is sitting on the floor with her legs under her. She moves rhythmical motions back and forth, slowly grinding her okay. Her breathing is so heavy it's almost visible in the dim light. It's the heaving, heavy panting of one who doesn't have the option of breathing gracefully. Her hips mere shadows against the dim light shining on her from above. Is she has to be. She has to be. She hasn't noticed me, so engrossed she is in her. She is. She's definitely. Oh, okay, this might get cut out. The deadlock solves itself before I get the chance to think of what to do next. Something in the atmosphere of the room changes. A little thing, not consciously noticeable, but it changes. Perhaps a timid current from the open door, or a minute change in air pressure, the sound of my breathing. Even though I notice I haven't taken a breath for many, many seconds, the aura of my presence. That something catches Ren's senses. She stops moving, freezes, and slowly turns to the door. I imagine, not see, the horror on her face, like a fawn's eyes staring at a hunter. I wonder if Rin can see my expression, but at least she doesn't have the strength or the spirit to look straight in my eyes. So she drops her chin against her chest, letting her mess of hair hide her face from me even further. I feel like I should either walk out or walk to her, but I can't do either. I told you to stay away. Her words are defeated, painful, as if she was suffering. Rin doesn't have anything other than her shirt on. I can see the last wisps of the twilight against the pale skin of her thighs and bottom. This is really awkward. I wasn't prepared for this. I should have known. There's no way I can back off anymore. I lost that chance, so I do the next best thing. I quickly avert my gaze, even though Rin doesn't see what I'm looking at. I'm sorry, I didn't think. It's not like that. Her voice is raspy, shivering from held-back tears or something else. She is shaking, looking like she is physically in pain. It's not like that. I had no idea what it really means to change, but I know now. You have no idea what I've had to do and all the things that passed through, and I think I forgot. I really don't. I think I forgot. I really don't. They just build up inside and grow and grow and grow until they flow out like a flow of everything that has ever been wrong. I can't take it. I can't think of the things I want because there's only so many things that I can think. 4, 6, 7, doesn't matter. It's never enough. I have to let this out. I have to destroy, forget, and nothing else. Rin is mumbling her words into the air more than talking to me. It is rambling, ranting, raving speech of a lunatic, even and steady in tone, but taking the form of a never-ending stream of words almost simultaneously spawning from between her lips. It feels like she forgot it is me who is present, or that somehow someone actually is present. Maybe she vaguely recognizes what is real and what is not. Maybe in her mind I am a voice inside her head. I look down at Ren's sorry figure cowering on the floor with only the white shirt of her usual attire on. It neither preserves her modesty that is gone, nor her body warmth that she doesn't seem to care about. She looks more broken than I imagined a human person being capable of, and the hospital and school has given me some real perspective on that. I remember the hazy blue smoke and myself wondering what Ren would do for the sake of art. The realization that Ren really is always serious hits me with its entire weight. She really and truly would destroy herself if her art required it. I thought she was so silly with her strange ways talking about personal change as if it was something sudden and concrete like waking up. I had no idea. This is her, laid bare in front of my eyes in all possible means of the word. Complete isolation here in the top roof of this building, in this room, in her mind. Day after day working on her paintings with no heed paid to anything else. Breaking herself to reach that which she wishes to reach. This obscene act that she does for reasons I'm not sure she herself understands. I mean, she's just masturbating. It's not obscene. It's just personal. It's only obscene because you just showed up, started staring. Why does she have to do this? I'm trying to connect the pieces, but I don't understand. It's not that, it's not that deep, but it probably is for the sake of the story. I feel sad, scared, excited, disgusted, worried, and a number of emotions I can't remember the name of now. I feel conflicted. I should go. I'm really sorry. It doesn't matter. My voice is dry and quiet like sandpaper coming out of my throat. I really am sorry. Sorry for seeing this. I don't want to see Ren like this. All I can see is her sadness, her stress and despair. Is this what a limit means? How could Sai and Nomiya let Ren go this far? Or is it me who's to blame? Giving her a little huggy. She needs a sleep. And definitely a hug. I almost walk out right there, but at the last moment I turn around, steel myself, and walk to Ren and crouch down behind her and lightly touch her forehead. She doesn't resist or react. I can't leave her like this. She's not well. She feels like she has a fever, freezing cold and burning hot at the same time. I wonder if she got sick from staying out all night with me back then. It seems she's prone to getting ill. There's a blanket on the couch, but I wrap my arms around Ren instead of fetching it. She does not resist my clumsy hug, only slumps her head lower, deepening the shadows hiding her face from me. What are you doing? Nothing. I'm not embracing her out of love, nor out of forgiveness. For I am in love. Wait, what? I am not embracing her out of love, nor out of forgiveness. For am I in love, or is she sorry? I don't understand what this sentence is telling me. I just want to hug her. For a moment, the only sound in the room is her heavy breathing. My body warmth shared between two people is barely enough, but slowly, painfully, slowly, it spreads from me to her. The small warmth returning to Rin makes me more conscious of her body against mine. Even in the darkness I can feel the fleeting scent of Rin's hair. The sweat on her skin, the dried paint stuck to her shirt. I feel the hardness of her bones, the softness of her flesh. Her heartbeats echoing mine out of rhythm, just like always. The hot blood rushing inside me reminds me why I said what I said back then. Why I came here even after that. Why I'm here tonight again. Why I'm hugging her now to keep her safe against the cold and the sadness. Rin has really grown on me inside my heart, claiming a small part of it as her own, even without particularly trying, like a parasite. Rin. Even if she wanted to push me away, I can't help this feeling. I can't stop this feeling. Are you alright, Rin? I'm not. I think I broke. I painted some really good things. Incredible. But it hurts me. I can't handle this. Her voice cuts out as there are no more words for her to say. It's not an angry voice nor a sad voice. It's a lifeless voice. I petted her head and shoulders, the physical equivalent of saying, there. It's not like I could reassure her with the sweet nothings that people are supposed to say in this kind of situation. I'm not sure if she would even listen or be reassured. She didn't react much to my embrace either, as if she didn't care. Maybe she doesn't. At least she doesn't care if she looks sad or not. There are no facades, no attempts to explain herself, no faux happiness. Rin is honest. Isao. What is it? You're my friend, right? Right. Will you do me a favor? I can't fix this, but I'm not finished yet. Her dry voice is a mere whisper, but the strength her last is in it, delivering her meaning much more clearly than her words. I can feel Rin's heart beating against my chest like a scared little bird. Her entire body is shivering from her fever, and from her fear, from her despair. My brain is fast becoming overloaded with a myriad of thoughts this encounter spawned, but I have to push them all aside. I snuggle my nose against her earlobe, which is soft and cold, and her hair, which smells good and tickles me. Alright, I'll do it. What are you gonna do, Hisao? What are you gonna take her to a doctor? Are you gonna get her some medicine? I whisper in her ear reassuringly, try to make her calm down. It works at least halfway as Rin closes her eyes and leans against me as if searching comfort from my warmth. But this is not something that friends should do. He's not gonna take her to the doctor. We can't be friends anymore. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Just relax. This is like almost worse than just having it sprung upon me. The slow burn makes me feel even more awkward. Even though I said that, I'm on the verge of breaking myself. If I wasn't so nervous, I would laugh at my own nervousness. She wants to be comforted, and I want to comfort her. But in this way. I'm not reading that. I'm too baby-fied. I can't. Sometimes I be saying things as a joke, but this is way serious, and it makes me feel weird. So you don't even know what you're doing. You don't even know what the sex is. I don't like this. There was one. Oh, no. Yeah, I know you don't know what you're doing, Hisao. You virgin ass. Mm-mm. Uh-uh. No. No. I don't like this. This makes me feel weird. This makes me feel weird. This is weird. Well there, buddy. We didn't agree on that. No one said that was okay. I'll read this part because it seems kind of relevant. I don't know. It makes me feel weird. I push Rin over the edge. Her entire body contracts around my fingers in a blinding, deafening, paralyzing spasm. Her voice is incredible. I never thought it could be so violent, so absolute for a girl. Later I would come to think that this finally was the moment when Rin fully let herself go, and in one single instant destroyed and rebuilt herself, just like she had wanted. Whether it's the truth or not, I couldn't say, but it's how I felt. Is that the end of it? Rin gasps for breath like she is drowning, returning to reality because she has no other choice. That's not funny. I'm nervous laughing because it made me feel weird. Her entire body is still in the throes of a slowly dying moment. This makes me feel so weird and awkward. I'm just gonna eat nerds jelly beans and act like everything's okay, and it's not. Pearls of sweat are glistening on her forehead. She needs medicine. She doesn't need what you gave her. Maybe she needs both, but I feel like medicine should have been the priority. I am feeling my own heat inside of me, but now the spur of the moment is gone and I don't know what to say to Rin, who is panting, hot, and ecstatic in my arms. Her shirt, wet with sweat, is glued to her back, revealing hints of her shoulder blades and waistline. She feels limp, weak, and exhausted. She is. Trust me on that one. I don't think she has the give a shittery to try to fake that kind of thing for your ego. I reach out for the blanket and wrap it around her and me. Rin doesn't resist me. She is drained of all strength. What will happen now? I don't know. Nothing, I suppose. You look tired. I am tired. It feels strange. Like I lost something. I mean, something else than my marital purity. Who gives a shit about that? Don't say something like that. Neither of those things. I don't want to lose you. What does that mean? I'm not going anywhere. Yeah, you are. You're going to bed. Go to sleep. I'm afraid that you are, all the time. In that moment, I felt that it was not only Rin who lost something of hers. I felt like I was losing part of myself, or maybe all of me. But if you were to ask what it was that I lost, I couldn't say, because I had already forgotten it. I broke another promise by coming out with my honest feelings to Rin. That's 2 in 1 day. I am a shitty person. I hate the distance between you and me. So every time it gets a little bit closer, I become afraid of losing it. That's weird. I guess so. Do you mind if I sleep a little? No, I guess you don't. You like watching, don't you? Calling him out. I feel like Hisao didn't really have a preference to watching girls sleep, but now I feel like he definitely does. She closes her eyes and swallows with a loud gulp. Get her some water! Come on now. That's just common courtesy. Gonna just let her sit there all dehydrated and afterglowy and tired. Trying to relax herself, fighting against the urge to paint. Yes. Yes, I do. What a character arc. Hisao came to terms with his fetish of watching girls sleep. Truly blessed. Rin moves her body in my arms, searching for a comfortable position in our very uncomfortable position. Isn't there a couch? Are you guys on the couch? These are the questions, guys. I'm trying to lighten the mood and make it apparently super obvious that I'm awkward. She leans against me. Ah, no! Go back. She leans against me, closing her eyes, and lets one last long breath out before settling into the steady rhythm of sleep. With her last moment of awareness, she whispers something to me, but I can't hear it. Rin drifts deeper into sleep with a deep sigh that releases all remaining tension from her muscles. She's dead. She literally died of exhaustion. I shouldn't say that, because I feel like that is a real possibility in this game. I try to shift around to place both of us more comfortably. It takes a while because I don't want to wake up Rin, even though she probably wouldn't, but eventually I find a position I'm somewhat comfortable with. Hisao, don't you have school? I lean against the soft cushions of the couch and breathe in the cool air of the atelier. Rin's head rests against my chest as if she were listening to my heartbeats, which she definitely is. She loves that shit. Echoes of her dreams ripple as small twitches on her face, like a cat sleeping the mouse hunter's dream. Okay. The full moon shining her pale light upon us from beyond the skylight reflects from a blank canvas standing forgotten on the easel. Its whiteness is glowing against the dark night of the atelier. Good lord. You're just gonna show up when she asked you not to, catch her masturbating, cry, hug her, help her finish, make me feel weird, and then just hit me with the doo 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 doo, as if all that didn't happen. I mean, okay. Yeah. So that was weird for me, personally. I don't know. I mean, I'm definitely gonna have to cut most of that out. So it might end up being a shorter episode, but I will put it back on that last part about the, what do you call? I might also put some of my writhing in there. I don't do well with the sex scenes. I know I played the honey pop, and it seemed like I would get desensitized, but I don't get desensitized, especially when it's like the slow burn makes it worse. If it just pops out of nowhere, I'm just like, goodness. It's like the versus like just jumping into a cold water and just like slowly walking into it. If you just jump in, it's just like you're done. But if you just slowly walk into it, it's like cold for longer. And that's the experience I'm having. I'm just sitting here cringing at the cold steps as it just goes further up my body. That's made it weird. Anyway, I'm gonna leave it here. I'm just digging myself in a hole. I'll see you guys in the next episode.